Hello, dear friends. Myself, Dr. K. N. Gaikwad, Department of Botany, KTHM College, Nasik. We have started SYBSc Botany paper first, Plant Anatomy and Embryology. We have completed two topics in last time, and today we are going to see topic number third, mechanical tissue system. Now let's see first of all introduction. The tissue system that gives mechanical support to the whole plant and the growing organs against different external and internal forces is called mechanical tissue system. It is variously termed by different botanists, Herberland and Schmeidner. Schmeidner is of the opinion that steroids collectively constitute the sterome or mechanical tissue system of plants. In order to maintain stability, there is a division of labor among different tissues. Plant organs have to withstand various stress conditions like bending due to high winds, due to presence of fruits, heavy rains, heavy snow, or other natural forces. The stems have to bear the weight of large number of branches and leaves. To withstand these strains, the cell walls of cell provide mechanical strength and rigidity to the plants. The cell wall of parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma provide mechanical rigidity to the plant. The woody plants achieve structural stability and strength due to the cell wall, which contributes up to 90%, 95% of the dry weight of the wood. The mechanical strength of non-lignified walls is due to the orientation of cellulose microfibrils. Collenchyma and sclerenchyma cells, however, provide maximum mechanical strength. Collenchyma walls are thickened at the corner or at the tangential wall due to the deposition of pectin, cellulose, hemicellulose, and proteins. Second point, as per our syllabus, that is principles involved in distribution of mechanical tissue. There are four principles. First one, inflexibility, that is resistant to lateral bending. Second one, inextensibility, that is resistant to stretching. Third one, incompressibility, and fourth one, tearing stress. Now let us see one by one. First of all, inflexibility, that is resistant to lateral bending. Dear student, let us see what is meant by inflexibility. If the load is placed at the middle portion of straight girder supported to the ends, it would result in bending. The upper surface is subjected to compression and lower tension. The typical girder is constructed so that they appear as alphabet capital I-like in cross section. The top and the bottom of capital I girder are flanges and middle axis is web. The web represents the natural line where no strain operates. Many plant organs, particularly the ones with cylindrical stem, because large trees as having cylindrical stems, are frequently distributed to bending stress, are flexion involving compression on one side and tension on the other side. The mechanical tissue are distributed in the peripheral region so that they in the eye girdle. The web is made up of parenchyma tissue. In the typical dicot stem, the mechanical tissues are distributed in hypodermis and pericycle in association with vascular bundles. In quadrangular stem, for example, family Liebeti, the central pith act as web. The eye girders are diagonally placed. Bilaterally symmetrical organs like leaves have mechanical tissues in the form of eye girder, which is parallel to one another and at right angle to each other. This is inflexibility. Now, second point is that inextensibility. The anchoring organs of the plant body, like roots and rhizomes, are subjected to longitudinal tension. The fruit stalks, lianas, and climbers have to withstand longitudinal tensions. So, they hold and bear the weight of fruits when they hang over the supporting objects. In rooted hydrophytes, the water currents are responsible for longitudinal stretching. The inextensible organs of plant body develop mechanical cells in the center to withstand longitudinal tension. This principle is seen in inextensible organs of plant. In roots, the still consist of tissues like xylem and sclerenchyma. They give the mechanical support. The formation of mechanical cells at the center is also observed in hydrophytes. For example, Potamogeton. And in the lianas, that means climbers, in the fruit stalk, they use the mechanical system. Now, third principle which is involved in the distribution of mechanical tissue is incompressibility. Under that, two subunits are there. First one, resistant to longitudinal compressions. The plants having cylindrical stem can withstand longitudinal compression. Such plants have branches and leaves at the top. The load of these plants parts coincides with the longitudinal axis of the stem. So, mechanical tissues are condensed at the center, forming a pillar-like structure. If the stem is not columnar but is slightly asymmetrical, the mechanical cells are distributed like inflexible organs. Thus, any columnar structures in the plant body must be constructed so as to withstand bending. Second point is that resistant to radial pressure. The cylindrical organs of the plant body are subjected to radial compression. The underground roots as well as the roots of submerged plants remain surrounded by soil and water respectively. In these cases, the roots withstand radial or crushing pressure. The plant organs which bear radial pressure have mechanical cells at the periphery to withstand radial compression. Another example in maize plant, the steel roots of Jia maize show a remarkable combination of incompressibility and inextensibility in the distribution of mechanical cells. If you observe, aerial parts of steel roots have to withstand longitudinal stretching, and the underground parts suffer from longitudinal compression. Thus, the same root is sometimes compressed and extended. So mechanical cells are present in the center and sclerenchyma present on the periphery to ensure incompressibility. To resist strain from any direction, several I-type of girders are constructed perpendicular to the long axis in a circular manner. The flanges are arranged in such a way that the middle of the wave or null-like intercept a common point, forming a composite I girder that can resist forces from all directions. The flanges of girder are always composed of mechanical cells, whereas the wave may consist of vascular tissue or parenchyma. And last principle involved in distribution of mechanical tissue, that is shearing stress, that is resistant to shearing action. The leaves and other organs of terrestrial plants withstand shearing stress when they lacerate. The organs of aquatic plants also have to withstand the shearing stress when they move violently. The margin of leaves is particularly exposed to shearing stress. They are protected due to increased thickness of epidermis and thick wall collenchyma in the epidermal region. Due to presence of reticulate venation, the dicot leaves are mechanically rigid. In monocot leaves, parallel eye girders forming by fibrovascular bundles are present, and that gives the mechanical support. The epidermal cells of leaf are cuticularized to withstand shearing stress. In this way, we have completed in this topic introduction of mechanical tissue stream, principle involved in distribution of mechanical tissue, that is in flexibility, in extensibility, compressibility, and last one, shearing stress. Lastly, there are some exercises or assignments for yourself. There are 3 questions. Write short note on inflexibility, what is incompressibility, and write short note on shearing stress. Dear student, next time we have to start same unit of same chapter, another unit of same chapter, that is vascular tissue system, structure, function of xylem, phloem, and parenchyma. Thank you.